Hey everybody, welcome back to Al and Jeff and the Cross Canada chat on my YouTube channel, Canadian music in the 80s and 90s and more,
Yeah.
until we find a bigger audience and a bigger
Yeah.
platform.
And a
Um,
bigger studio
yeah, that's who, yeah, studio. Yeah, it's real
and
high-tech stuff we're doing here.
sponsorships in the mail. We had some calls. We're sorting through that.
Yeah,
And welcome back, everybody, for another week.
lots going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, lots going on. Yep, soccer. Okay, I know nothing about soccer, so
Okay. Well,
that's your job.
yeah. I'm still reeling. Canada could have and should have at least tied and won that game on Wednesday. On Wednesday. At noon here in Vancouver, the game was. It was here in Vancouver. Al, it could have been such a grand day. It was game three of our round robin game, and we were against Switzerland. And if we won, we would have won the whole group. And it was here in Vancouver. There was such a great hype here in Vancouver. I had my girlfriend here. We watched the first half here. We could not get in the bar in the second half, and we walked around. We found a nice spot, but damn it, I don't want to. It's the World Cup, and we had a chance there to at least tie it and win the match. And if we would have won, our next match would have been here at home in Vancouver. We had Switzerland, and we had chances to win the game, and we didn't deliver, and we lost that game. And damn it, I know they tried, but it's the World Cup, and they could have really capitalized on that game, at least tied it and won the division that way, our group, and we could have even maybe won that. It could have been such a grand day, and I'm disappointed we didn't win that one. Damn it. It was such a great crowd here in Vancouver at the game. It was the biggest, hottest ticket in Vancouver since Taylor Swift, and that was a big damn deal. Even
I was
going,
just gonna say, what's the hype like there in Vancouver? Like, I mean,
oh,
it's
it's
there's no
huge.
games being played here in Charlottetown, so I don't know what the hype is like. So I
Ah,
can't
well,
imagine what it's like where it's actually being played.
there should be a game in Charlottetown. It's been grand. It's been absolutely grand. The city of Vancouver has been a great host for it. I've got my Canada Team Canada shirt here, which I had a lot of reservations purchasing. How much they damn well charge for it, but
Uh huh.
it was sold out across the city. Vancouver has really been rolling with this World Cup. The crowds have been fantastic. The international crowds have been great. It's been fun. It's been fun. You see on Davie Street, close to where I am, you see the tourists and people who've come in from out of town to watch these games.
Right.
It's been fun. It's been so great. There's Granville Street is closed down. There's a whole fanfare going on there. Again, of course, in front of the stadium and at, of course, the lookout point in downtown where TSN has their main broadcast booth set up
Hmm.
over the square there. I forget the name of the square, but it's the main square down where the Canada Place Pavilion is, where the cruise ships dock, and it's every night down there's the international group celebrating, and of course TSN using this as the background and the forefront for their broadcasts of the FIFA 2026 from Vancouver.
So you can imagine what it's like because they're playing some games back in Toronto where we're from. So what do you
Yeah.
think? Is it you think it's much different than what it's like back in Toronto, or have you talked to anyone from Toronto?
Vancouver, who's classically been with the big cities here in Canada, kind of the jealous little sister, is really having a day in the spotlight, and they're really doing well. Vancouver's hosting two of the games here, and they're doing exceptional, and they're even sort of outshining Toronto in this one. Toronto's been a great host. I've seen nothing but positive reviews from Toronto
Hmm.
hosting it. Toronto Stadium, let's talk about that. But they were all describing it as a disaster in this ugly stadium. It's actually held up quite well. Those
Hmm.
grandstands that have they brought in, all the fans are saying Toronto's been a beautiful, fantastic host. I heard some great reviews from a lot of the German groups who've had games there. That'd be a great damn ticket, by the way. They love Toronto, so Canada's really being a great host here. And Alan, it's been fun. Like full bars, people in the streets, Team Canada jerseys everywhere. I wore this to the hospital yesterday where I work just on the day during my shift. Got a lot of compliments on it. And yeah, man, fun.
Well, I just remember what it was like in Toronto when they'd regularly have a World Cup, even when it wasn't there. I remember, all the different there was a lot of different cultures in Toronto. Like I remember St. Clair with all the Italian fans, the Portuguese fans. Like it
Oh,
it
yeah.
was nuts even the when it wasn't in Toronto. I can't imagine what the vibe is like now that there's actually some games being played in Toronto.
Yeah, yeah. I remember those in the early. I remember it was Italian 90, but my dad, we went to go visit dad on the weekend, and he took us through little Italy in the area, and it was just like fever. It is what it was out in the streets and the flags and everyone cheering. And it was like wow. And it's the first time I'd ever seen such a response in a neighborhood get it so enthralled in the and in it. And yeah, very cool. I remember those times in Toronto, and yeah,
Yeah, let's get on to another wonderful subject
yes.
here, if I can figure this out here.
Alan's driving the truck this week on the show, everybody.
Yeah, last night was a big night for Toronto Maple Leaf fans. Um,
Oh, and welcome to graphics, everyone. See, we're a big show. We
oh
got
yeah, look at
photos.
us. Yeah. So I guess it was no real surprise that Gavin McKenna was the first pick the Leafs chose.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Leafs.
And
Leafs got Gavin McKenna and the number one draft pick in the NHL. It was great.
so what do you think? Was that the right pick, or because I
Oh,
know the Swedish kid was another choice that probably could have been just as good, but
let's just enjoy right now. First things first, just take it in. Just feel that nice light of the Leafs getting the number one pick in the draft. I can hear people groaning. Yeah, we wow, I can't believe we had an 8% chance of getting the pick and we got it. It's still hard to even believe, but amazing. We got the number one pick. And Gavin McKenna, good boy from the Yukon. And yeah, watching them draft McKenna was a bit of a hard watch. They using Bieber and giving him the microphone to do it. They shouldn't have done that. I think that did not work well. That did not deliver, and it was a bit goofy. The Leafs have a new GM, and I think it was his job, and he should have just gone up there and done it square. And the Toronto Maple Leafs,
yeah,
with the first overall pick select from Yukon and the Pennsylvania team there,
yeah,
Gavin McKenna. And he comes up and he shakes the GM's hand. I wanted it square and like that, a little boring. You don't you're in the new GM. You should actually be owning
yeah,
this. And as the GM's move, this you should have just stepped in the spotlight and done this move. That whole Bieber thing, that was hokey as hell. It was
yeah.
like, did Rogers support that? Was that their idea? Al, why? Like, how do you feel about that? I was embarrassing.
I thought it would have been better to get Mike Myers to do it, but that's just my opinion. He's been a known Leaf supporter for a long time. So
Yeah, no frills. You don't need the frills. All you need to do is just draft them. And I've seen
yeah,
actually McKenna since then on draft day done a lot of these flashy light sort of cameo, these little clips. Get him off of that. Get him out. This guy's 18 years old. He seems quiet already. I think manage this kid a little better than that. Just no lights. Just draft him. Jersey photos. That's it. None of these frills and shit. Stop it.
and of course
I'm a little old school like that.
there's the number two, the one they could have gone with, and there was talk that they might have. Uh, the kid from Sweden, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Maybe,
Stenberg,
yeah,
Ivor Stenberg, yeah. And
man. San Jose is building quite a little team there.
can you see the landscape of the West for the next 8 years? The San Jose Sharks, there seems like they're putting together a power team with brick by brick. Jesus.
Yeah, they're. I think they're serious. I mean, you got to build around Celebrini. The guy's just a
Yeah,
superstar already
and they
at such
have
a
been.
young age, and
It was just last winter. He was starring for Team Canada in the Olympics, like
yeah,
starring. Everyone was like, "Is he gonna? How's this gonna go?" No, wow.
yeah, playing on
Um,
a line with McDavid, that doesn't hurt.
yeah, local kid here from Vancouver. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah,
a lot of the sports shops. He's one of the graphics in a lot of the windows here in Vancouver, and certainly should be. Yeah,
and
but
what
he just got
your nightmare happened.
he
Um,
well, Celebrini just got his Yuri Curry maybe, and this new kid Stenberg.
yeah, possibly, yeah,
Yeah, and they've
but
got a goalie. They've got a goalie who could be just as much as these other prospects in Askarov. So they've got the D guy there. They've got yeah, wow. All the comments have been about look out. San Jose is going to be the definition of the NHL West in the next 10 years. That's all the response of this has been.
and of course there wasn't really a big surprise at number three. Your Vancouver Canucks out there got
Uh, yeah, that was a dumb move. That because Al, Al, but you can't. They shoot themselves in the foot because his dad is the coach, was the newly hired coach of the Canucks. So let's talk about that because that's a weird one. Mal Hortra Senior, Papa, was just hired to be head coach of the Vancouver Canucks,
Yeah.
and his son is one of the top prospects in this draft. Cute, great, but two worlds. You can't be his coach. You can't. I don't care how much he says in the organization of the Canucks say they're going to do this right, and it's not going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. Don't do it. Vancouver can't handle soup like this.
I've seen it in junior though. Like, I mean, Dale Howardchuk was coach of the Barrie Colts, and he had his son playing for the Colts. So I don't know if it's a different situation in the OHL. Maybe you're finding it a little different.
I think it's bad soup. I don't think it's going to work well. It's going to be weird. He's going to be challenged in the lock. He's going to feel the dad's going to feel challenges once in a while to show that he's not favoring the son, and it's going to misplay his son's development. Why do this? You should have picked a different coach and gone with the player. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's not going to work. Call me old school, but I think it's bad soup. You shouldn't have done this. If they shot himself, they've given himself a weird stench in the room that, yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
Okay, we talked about your shirt. Now we're going to talk about my shirt
And and we certainly should have, but
because
yes.
and you're segueing well too because I'd like to get into talking about we got Canada Day coming up,
Yeah.
and of course how about what a good way to start Canada Day. Been talking probably one of the best Canadian bands ever.
It's a
Um,
good.
uh, so yeah, you you wanted to cover Rush today, didn't you?
Yeah, guy, yeah, it's a good t-shirt this week, Al. I do like it. Yeah, well, of course, you're our with your show and whatnot, and you were bringing it up last week. Of course, yeah, Rush, their huge world tour has just gone underway. Their first tour in 12 years, and they're currently in Dallas, Fort Worth, technically,
Yeah.
for a four show stand there. And I was looking at some of the videos last night from the tour, and the numbers are huge. The numbers like 273,000 for the full concert, which surprisingly they posted for all their fans to enjoy. And so they've got huge numbers for viewerships on these clips and posts of the full shows going on. So all seems, seems all is well and going good with the tour.
Well, the big thing is they've got a keyboard player now, but nobody's really talking about him as much as they're talking about Annika Niles in the picture here.
Uh-huh.
The big shoes to fill with filling Neil Peart's shoes as a drummer.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, she's very good. She's done very well. She's fitting in quite nicely, which can't be easy. I mean, they played with Neil for 40 years. So that's not an easy thing to just step in and do, but I know they've put a lot of work into it to for her to be in this band. So she's they picked her for a reason, and I trust their judgment. And from what I've seen, she's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, man, they press play in the tour and it seems going absolutely, totally fine. Um, Absolutely. Please remind us what for the tour, Boston would be the closest show to PEI when they do the tour, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah.
I think they're doing Montreal, but Boston is actually closer to us than Montreal and Toronto.
Yeah, so they got the keyboardist and of course the drummer in place, and I'm certainly, yeah, when they go out on tour, they've got this seemingly all ironed out and absolutely. Do you know why it was 12 years coming for this tour? It must have been all, of course, the people departing from the band, but it was 12 years in between tour. Why do you think that was, Al?
Well, it was Neil. Neil got sick. Well, the last tour they did, it's actually funny. They started their tour in Los Angeles at the old Forum, and that was the place they played their last show with Neil. Neil was done. He was not physically able to play the type of drums that he would be expected to play. Like, I don't know what your musical knowledge is about, but Neil is considered one of the best drummers ever.
Hmm.
And he knew the older he got, he was not going to be able to play to the standards that was expected of him
Yeah.
physically. So he had to call it quits. And then shortly after he called it quits, brain cancer. The same
Wow.
brain cancer that hit Gord Downey from Tragically Hip.
Really?
Yeah. So, and what I
Wow.
find funny, this is actually kind of interesting. 2016, we lost Rush, we lost the Hip, and Spirit of the West because three key members all got sick
Yeah.
and they're all gone. And those are three Canadian bands that it's a level of Canadianness we'll never see again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because speaking of Canada Day coming up, the hip was a big part of Canada Day celebration.
Hmm.
At least
Yeah,
back
you're
in
certainly right about
Ontario,
that.
least back in Ontario they were. So you remember Canada Day celebrations back in Ontario. Good times.
Yeah.
Um,
Just touching on that. That hits heavy when you group them all like that, Al, and passing, those bands calling it a day, perhaps for these reasons back in 2016. Spirit of the West, Tragically Hip, and Rush. I mean, you'd heard about these things when you just, yeah, that's quite a time then. So I'm certainly happy as hell is that they've been able to get together and here they are. They're marching out again and they're on tour. They filled those spots and bam, the engine's running and yeah, good stuff.
yeah, and then it's also a big year for that kind of thing because the Guess Who is on the road right now. Triumph just finished a tour.
Yeah.
So like it's been a banner year for legendary Canadian bands going back out and doing it again.
Yeah, it's back to Rush. Yeah, Rush seems to be stomping. They seem to be going out, and the crowds look so good. Again, the views on yeah, YouTube are like over 250,000. These shows have not been out online that long, so awesome. And they're doing like 4 nights per stop, which is actually
Yeah,
pretty good. They're a little older now, so that's a little easier on the knees. But yeah, like New York City's like 4 shows. And then they're going and right now and they're in Dallas, Fort
four
Worth,
shows there too. Yeah.
Texas. That's anyway, very cool. Side note, here's me bouncing around. Um, I'll get to that in a minute. I was actually going to ask about ZZ Top and how they're doing because that'd be a hell of a show in Fort Worth. Can you imagine Rush and ZZ Top? Oh my God.
Oh, be
Anyway,
crazy.
yeah, but after this stand in Fort Worth, Texas, they're taking a 2 week break, and the Rush tour is going to resume on July 16th in Chicago.
Oh, good. That'd be a great place to see them. Chicago's an
Hmm.
awesome city.
Totally awesome
Place
city.
I've never been, but I'd like to go there. There's a lot of things I'd like to see in Chicago.
Chicago's a city I'd love to see. Yeah, I went out with I known some people from Chicago, and that's a city I'd like to see. Absolutely, yeah.
I want
Good Great Lake city like Toronto.
I want to do a John Hughes tour, actually.
That'd be great. That'd be you nerd.
I
Yeah, me
know, I
too.
know. I want to go see the Ferris Bueller sites. I want to go see
I'll
the
be
Home
sitting
Alone
next to you on the
house.
bus. Yes, that'd be actually pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah, the Home Alone house, Uncle Buck's house. Uh,
Is is there a John Hughes tour?
I don't think there's an
But I
actual. I don't think there's an actual uh, organized tour,
yeah.
but I've seen YouTube videos of people that have done
Hey.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people that have just gone on John Hughes movie
Uh,
locations, and a
Feel
lot
good
of the places are
movies.
still there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be
The Home
great.
Alone house gets more visitors every year than at Christmas time. There's just people lined up down the streets taking videos and
Yeah.
pictures of the Home Alone house constantly.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like Chicago. Side little thing, I've always wanted to see like Wrigley Field. The food, man. Oh, the food. The
yeah,
food would knock you out, man. Oh yeah.
great sports town too.
Absolutely. They're not actually host of the World Cup. They're not doing any World Cup games. They had a standoff with FIFA, as a lot of cities did, but they couldn't
Yeah,
work it out. They were certainly a consideration, but they're not. Okay, while we got Chicago and some sporting news, one side story that's happened this summer is the ridiculous story about the Chicago Bears and where they're going to build their new home. They
not
cannot
even
get
in
a deal.
Chicago. It's weird.
Because they can't get a deal done with Illinois or the city of Chicago, and they're both standing firm so that they might move the stadium across the border into Indiana, which is close by. But come on, like it'd be
Well,
in Indiana, and they got a great deal then, and Indiana's just reeling it in like a fish. Like, come on,
well,
big boy, and
I'm biased, but the stupidest thing I ever saw was when the Toronto St. Mike's Majors decided, yeah, we can play in Mississauga. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
yeah,
You can't take a
yeah.
Toronto staple in a classic school like that and just move it to another city.
You can't make these departures. You're right.
I
It's
knew it
it's
wasn't going to
stupid.
last. There's no way it was going to last. It was just stupid. Melnick had no idea what he was doing. He just wanted a new arena.
Fans can
Um,
feel the carpet coming out underneath them. Yeah. So
well, yeah, it doesn't make
anyway,
any sense, but I mean, that one hits closer to home with
Chicago.
me.
All right.
Chicago.
We'll write that down as a place where we're going to do a tour from.
Yeah.
A show from.
Yeah. Can we go back to Canada Day coming up on
Yes, sir.
Wednesday? Um, I'd like to talk about, well, so we can cover, well, what I do. Um,
I'll tell you.
back to Rush again. Let's talk
I
about
thought.
Canadian bands. Who are some of your favorite Canadian bands? Like, who are the ones that you stand out for you? Like, Rush is obviously one that stands out for us because we've been talking about them
So,
today.
well, I mean, I, I, I don't want to sound like I'm singing the classics, but I mean, like the hip, certainly, you know what I mean. The odds, the Tea Party. I was playing a lot of Tea Party in there summer and
Mm-hmm.
loving it. Yeah.
5440,
Um,
maybe?
the Tea Party's still touring
Yep.
well. Um, they're a band I thought could have and should have been a lot bigger than they were. But yeah, absolutely. Man, all the time. So when I'm playing whatever on YouTube, all the time, like last week I was playing Sarah Harmer. Um, oh yeah. The Trues, Grapes of Wrath. I don't really have a
50,
favorite, maybe, but
5440, they're a Vancouver band.
yeah, they are. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but Vancouver was a hot Canadian town back in the late 80s, early 90s
mhm.
with Little Mountain Sound,
Yep.
which you
Yeah.
might have heard of.
Yes.
Yeah, that great recording studio where not just Canadian bands were recording back in the day, like some of the biggest international bands were
Hmm.
invading Vancouver. Like I guess it started with Bon Jovi, started recording with Bruce Fairbairn, the Canadian producer, and Slippery When Wet was the biggest album they'd had up to that point. And
Hmm. Yep, that's
they
true.
went back and did New Jersey there, and then
Yeah.
Metallica followed, Motley Crue followed. I
That's
mean,
a
Cult.
that's
Um,
a hell of a topic, and it sounds and we could do like an introspective sort of all topic about Rocky Mountain Sound, that studio, and sort of a lot of the surrounding stories. I think that'd be a hell of a Alan Jeff special that we can get into. And in discussing that and the fallout and the peripheral, all the surrounding stories that go in and out of that. Certainly, and just the amazing amount of talent and sound that came out of that, and records that
do you
came out of
live near
that
where
here
it
in
was?
Vancouver.
Do you know where it was?
Um, Not sure. Not sure its physical location. I think I believe it was in Burnaby, or
It was in
no.
Vancouver somewhere.
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
in the
I
downtown somewhere.
Yeah, we'll revisit that. Its exact location, no. In the research I've done about it, but we can get into that as a whole sort of like sub. I think that you could even deserve a whole show. You know what I mean? Some of the things that came out of that, yeah. But yeah, that's a huge topic. Oh yeah, huge
Yeah.
monumental studio that was here in Vancouver. Yeah.
Well, we could do recording studios in Canada episode by episode. You got
Hmm.
Metalworks in our hometown of Mississauga, which was a big
Yep.
studio as well for a lot of
Hmm.
international and Canadian acts.
Hmm.
And then the one that Rush recorded at a lot
Yeah.
outside of Montreal, Morin Heights.
Recording's a fascinating subject. I mean, because when you're a band, you gotta, there's feeling it and doing it as you want it, but there's the technical aspects that you gotta work with it and some of the restrictions you have with the kind of studio that you can get and still nailing it. It's such an undertaking and a score to get right. And I think it's a fascinating topic. What happens in the studios and where you record? I hear stories of like where YouTube recorded this and that. It's a hell of a decision because it affects you when you're there, but certainly they know what they're doing. And with the amount of, I mean, you hear about where they recorded in the album, it was amazing, so they got it right. And yeah, it's a very interesting topic.
Yeah, it's the right producer, it's the right
Hmm.
location, like the right recording studio in Quebec, Morin Heights, which I've actually been to, but it was closed down at the time. It
Hmm.
was where Rush recorded a lot of their big albums. April Wine, The Police recorded there. Every big Canadian band has done some recording there.
Wow,
It was
cool.
in the middle. It was in the middle of the woods, and people loved it because you could stay there. There was like
Hmm.
housing there, so you
Really?
could really be out, away from all the distractions, and really
Hmm.
enjoy the scene because it's out on a lake and in the woods. And
How many
Rush
glasses go there?
Rush said it was a great place to record because they could really focus. They could bring their families with them. They could have barbecues and
Really?
and just really focus on recording. And
Fantastic. Yeah.
Apparently, it had a great board, and of course they had good production teams there too. So
Hmm.
it really is the atmosphere when you're looking to record an album that people look for. So, and I guess
Hmm.
all those Los Angeles bands, Vancouver was that place for them. They could get out of LA, get away from all the distractions and stuff like that, and
Still
then they
feel like you're on
real
the coast.
and then they discover, Bob Rock, one of the
Yeah.
greatest producers out there, right in
Yeah.
Vancouver, and Bruce
It's
Fairbairn.
funny. It's funny when you talk about the West Coast. When I'm in Vancouver, I walk around. I'm like, we're on the coast. LA's right down there. Yeah, this is West Coast. We're kind of what they come up and see. This is like certainly they'll see this the West Coast, but like, wow, it's like right down there. And a very simple putting the blocks together. It's like, yeah, LA is just down the coast, and they're here, and yeah, it's all cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Seattle takes it's a fuzzy part of it, and like, yeah, it's yeah. Seattle doesn't feel like so much like a coast town. It is, but there's the outer
yeah,
Olympia Island there, so it's not like like a coast town, but it is. You know what I mean? It's funny going up and down the coast where LA is an open, raw coast and the open expanse of the ocean. Yeah.
for sure.
Anyway,
And then you've got well, yeah, Seattle was a big spot, but apparently Heart, the band from Seattle, did a lot of their early work in Vancouver.
really,
They were almost considered a Canadian band at one point because they spent so much time in Canada doing stuff.
really, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah, it was a big thing. I think they actually appeared at the Junos a few times just because they were in Canada so much. Um,
really.
yeah, getting back to Canada and Vancouver because I want to talk
Hmm.
more Vancouver. I sent you a wonderful video, a Stomp and Tom video today about a big, well, historic event that happened in Vancouver.
Hmm.
I don't know if you were aware of it or not before I
Yeah,
sent you
so
the song.
me and Al had been talking a lot about Canada coming up, what it's like where he is in PI and where I am here and whatnot. And we had talked lately about the Burrard Bridge, and of course Al's the Stomp and Tom expert, and he sent me this link about that filled in the backstory of the Burrard Bridge, and I'd heard about this Stomp and Tom Connor song that was a or his correlation with the bridge or something. And Al sent me, and it was the first time I actually heard the song about the Vancouver Second Bridge, with the Iron Workers Bridge, named after the workers who had constructed it, and of course about the event when it collapsed the first time, and the 79 workers plunged into the waters
Yeah,
over the water, and something happened. The wind came up, but the whole structure collapsed, and they all fell into the water. It was a horrible disaster, the worst construction disaster in the history of Vancouver. And unfortunately, 19 of the workers perished that day in the water and drowned. Horrific. Yeah. And Stomp and Tom Connors wrote this song about it. It was very lovely to hear. And thanks for sharing that with me, Al. And
I'm
yeah,
always amazed at how those songs that he wrote really touch people because I was at Tom's memorial when he passed away, and Dave Bedini of the Rio Statics, great Canadian band, um, he said he was in Vancouver walking downtown. And he heard two homeless guys singing that song.
really.
Like, isn't it amazing when a song can get that far
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
into
That's,
the
yeah.
people's minds? You know what I mean? That two
Yeah.
homeless guys are sitting there singing that song. They know it.
Well, it's
Like,
a great Canadian song, and
yeah.
however much their situation, it had touched them too, and that's nice to hear. Yeah,
No, I'm glad you listened to it. I'm glad you
yeah,
opened
yeah.
up
That
and
was
listened
great.
to
Yeah, it
it.
was cool. Yeah,
It's nice to know
yeah,
what went on around where you live, I guess.
yeah.
So,
What else was I doing this morning? We organized for this. Um, Getting kind of moving on to some other topics, of course, and I did not watch World Cup. Al, so my days in the last 2 weeks, I've been getting up every day and either going to work, but I've been watching World Cup, and again, just going back with Canada coming up, how enthralled Vancouver is in this, and there was no games today. Oh, sorry, my phone's tilting here. England plays today, so does Colombia and Portugal. That's going to be a massive game. And Al, to be here in Vancouver, it is all around you, the energy of it and whatnot. Vancouver is still, I think, has 3 games to host. It's been very cool, but it certainly set up very much a national pride in the city. There's a lot more celebrating of Canada, and Canada Day's next week. And I got my Canada Day T-shirt, and here in Vancouver, it's going to be a special Canada Day because there's certainly this is certainly stirred up and
sure.
galvanized a national feeling about Canada and the citizens here. And it's a great time to be in Canada here in Vancouver, Alf.
So, what was Canada Day like for you back in Ontario? Like, I
Yeah.
remember how much fun it used to be. I remember Port Credit used to do a really big
Yeah.
parade through down Lakeshore. And of
Tell you what.
course,
Tell you what.
I used to go to Edgefest a lot back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all love Canada Day. It's always something special where we are. And oh yeah. Some remember some Canada Days being a bummer, right? Because I didn't have any plans, but everyone loves Canada Day, barbecues and whatnot. Wrapping this up, Jeff's got plans. I've got my girlfriend's her godparents, it's their child's 1 year of a 1 year birthday. And Jeff's doing a barbecue later on this afternoon. So I'm actually I gotta get sort of rolling on that. Um, but for today. So yeah. So wrapping this up, any closing thoughts?
have a great Canada Day. I hope
Yeah.
Vancouver Canada Days are well. It's going to be with World Cup going on.
Mhm, yes.
Me personally, we're heading up to our trailer camper for
Really?
the next few days. We're leaving tomorrow morning, staying there till
Okay.
Canada Day. We actually might, on our way back, stop in Summerside to see a Tragically Hip cover band.
Really? That'd be a
So,
great way to
yeah,
send it.
yeah, and then if we stick around later, apparently Alan Doyle will be playing there too from Great Big Sea. So,
That'd be the place to see him. That'd be fantastic. Let's get from you, Al, a World Cup update from PEI and what the fervor is like there and the fans and I mean are the cops being called? What is FIFA been
no,
like there on the streets of Charlottetown, PEI? We go.
I haven't really seen much. I know they had one of those, I think every city's had one of those walk through the streets kind of thing. I've heard something. They did one here in Charlottetown, but I really didn't see it or hear much about it. I don't imagine it was what it was in
Really?
Vancouver or
Are
Toronto, but
on Canada game days are the bars full?
I don't know because I haven't gone to many bars here.
Yeah?
Uh, so,
Okay, Alan, tomorrow, noon, Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Watch Canada game. Canada's next game, of course, is tomorrow from LA because it's not going to be in Vancouver because they lost the last game. So we're
right.
playing tomorrow at noon, South Africa. It's the first round of the playoffs. We win, we advance, we lose. It's over. Tomorrow, everyone. Tomorrow, Canada, watch this game. It's a huge national game. It's been so great watching the World Cup and get behind your country. It's a huge event.
Yeah.
Vancouver knows it. For those of you in PEI, watch this game. It's going to be a great event from SoFi Stadium in LA. Let's go Canada and totally take it in. All sports fans.
Thanks, Jeff. Good to do this again.
Okay, thank you, Al.
All right.
Okay.
Take care. Have a good Canada Day, and we'll talk to you after. And we'll
Hello to lovely Mrs. Al, your wife, and enjoy the weekend. And we'll converse next week. And yeah, until next time. And everyone, thank you for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show, and feel free to leave a comment. We've been enjoying doing this. We welcome any comments or topics or suggestions for topics. And thank you for tuning in. We're having a lot of fun doing this. And have a great summer, everybody.
and same to you. Have a good afternoon with your missus, and try not to burn too much food.
Burn the food?
Yeah.
Oh, someone else is doing the kid cooking. That's going to be all right. I'm just going to enjoy it.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. We'll talk to you
Okay.
soon. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.